If you could get $100 per JRK off for life, or get $1 mil for one time, which would you choose, and why? Jim the Mill. The other option is too much work. I'm already 50. I don't got time for that shit no more. Important question. Is the money coming directly out of my penis? If I can get back pay for all the times from ages 13 now in my 30s, then I would do the $100 per stroke. If I cannot be reimbursed for time served, then the $1 mil will be fine. Plus, with the $1 mil, buying a house would be easier, since I wouldn't have to run to the bathroom like 4,000 times. Do the paper jerk, to stop hearing my wife tell me to keep taking college classes and get promotions. Instead it here, we need groceries, can you rub 1 or 2 out real quick? Rent due, I need you to stop gaming, and start masturbating, come faster. In bathroom. What you doing? Me. Saving up for your birthday present. Or I love you honey. Me. I'm pushing 40 and probably in the twilight of my tugging career. I'd have to jerk off once per day for the next 27 plus years to hit $1 million at the 100 per pace. I just don't have that kind of time. I'm gonna have to take that big money and run. Just give me the mill, because if I take 100 per Joe sesh it'll just turn into work and I don't want my personal time composing with the skin flute to ever become work. Besides, it's a lot easier to explain to the folks around the dinner table when they ask me what I do to earn a living. $100 per JRK off. I figure I could JRK off 50 guys a day. At my age I'd take the $1 million. Info, I have a VLVA. Does the $100 per JRK off mean I have to find someone to JRK off, or will I be able to earn the same $100 per orgasm for jilling off? I'll take the 80 pounds, I think that's the amount cause you can just wank in a McDonald's if you're hungry. $100 per jerk off. Steady supply makes me more satisfied mentally than just having $1 million. Do you have to finish? Because I can jerk off a lot of times in a day if I don't have to see him every time. I only need to masturbate 10,000 times to make $1 million. So I would only need to jerk off 2 times a day for 13 years and 252 days. Or 4 times a day for 6 years and 306 days. Challenge accepted. Give me $10 per, I'll still destroy that $1 million ceiling. Let's put this into perspective. $1 million equals $100 10,000. Which means you need to masturbate 10,000 times to equal it, which, if you do it once a day, means 27 years. Now, if this was active from puberty, I think it's probably safe to say you'd far surpass 1 million. But if you're 25, you're probably past your peak masturbation age, and you're probably having sex too. So let's say you masturbate 2 times every 3 days. That already puts you past 40 years to hit 10,000, which, if you're 25, means over 65. Already looking like 1 mil smarter. But we haven't even factored in investments. With $1 million, hire a good investor and invest. I'm certainly not the most financially informed, but it's clear that you'll far surpass whatever amount you'll get from $100 per JRK off. Yeah right, do the $100 per cause I'd spend up that mil and be back to beating the cheap meat. Well, I could manage 3 times a day, x 365 days in a year, would only take me about 9 years and change to reach $1 million. I figure I'll be jerking it for at least another 20-30 years before I get too old, so that could net me an additional $2 million by retirement age. I definitely go with getting paid by the wank. So you're asking whether I'd prefer $1 million right now or $1 million every month. I'm 17 and can safely say that jaking off 4 times a day is doable, especially if I get $100 per session. So if I jack off 4 times a day, it'll only take 6.84 years to hit the $1 million, and by then I'll be 24, still fully capable of jaking off like a champ. Obviously 1 mil for one time. Can't get a better deal than that. I don't think I've even masturbated 10k times in my life, and I wouldn't want to, just to earn a reward that I can earn in 5-10 minutes. And turn a fine hobby into a job, asking all the pleasure out of it? No way. I'ma take the cool million, thank you. The question should be, would you take $100 per JRK off for life, or 1 million, but you can only do it one more time? I think I'll hit 1 million before the end of the week, fam. The $1 millimeter for sure, and it's not close. Even if I jacked it once a day, every day, it would take over 27 years to make $1 millimeter. On the other hand, I could pay off every penny of debt I owe, save for my kids, to go to college for free, move almost anywhere I want, and then live a very comfortable life right now. And I can still jerk off once a day if I wish. Lord, if I'd been offered that at 13 years of age. At $100 per, that's 10,000 times to beat the million. Assuming twice per day, that's 5,000 days around 13 years, 8 months. However, in that same time, you cold have invested the million from the one time. At a 7% annual rate of return, that means that the million is now worth $2,523,306, requiring a further 7,600 days to catch up, by which time the million would now be worth, etc. Jim, the one-time million. I'm 14, so $100 per jerk for life would make me richer than Bill Gates. Getting paid $100 to jerk off is the same as losing $100 every time you have sex. I couldn't live with that. Assuming an average jerk off rate of once per day, this will be too high low for a lot of you, but bear with me. We are looking at a standard return of $36,500 a year. At that rate, you're looking at about 27 years and some change to hit that $1 mil earnings that you could take flat with the original offer. Of course, you could put in work and jack up that AJOR for a quicker payout. Let's say a 2 to 3 times increase on your AJOR, and you get that money in 9 to 13 years, and then whatever you push out after that point is pure gains compared to the flat $1 mil. However, there are a couple of things to consider. First off, it's all fine and dandy to talk about an AJOR of once per day or higher when you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, but inevitably we all will get up there in age, and churning out those numbers over time will become more than a chore. Second, if you consider that average annual return of stock market investments through a normalized index fund or other, you're typically looking at an average return of 9-10% per year. If you start off from day one with $1 million easy, you can invest that, and assuming you don't spend any, you just keep it invested, you are looking at a return of between $10 mil and $13 mil after 27 years of investment. My take: sure, you can put yourself to work for the next few decades and maybe come out with more than $1 million or $2, or you could cash in on an upfront investment and keep your alone time on the recreational side, while likely banking a higher return. Let's be honest, as soon as you get paid to do something, it loses some of its fun, and who not to mention any additional wear and tear that occurs. I'm taking the $1 mil after 1